I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name. Check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change. Possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working.
What's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, all the lovely folks in the ecosystem. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. As always, loving the green candles. The last 4 days alone has seen almost doubles in the entire ecosystem for HEX, Pulse Chain, and PLSX, and all the RH ecosystem. But I'm just checking in with y'all. How are y'all doing today, man? Let me know what is good. Let me know how it's going. Obviously, let me know that you can hear me, how the audio is. Once again, trying a different setup right now, so it should be a little easier for everyone, or a little bit more enjoyable. But again, give me a heads up. Let me know that all is good in the hood, my friends. But let me just pull it up over here on my end as well. Hope y'all are having a fantastic day. Docs, chat. Interesting. Just close, cool. Yeah, let me just double check to make sure that all is actually good with the stream real fast, guys, because for whatever reason, I can't see the chat up on my screen. So, a little bit odd there, for sure. But let me just pull it up to where I can actually see the chat. What's good? Live look at Gensler, he's a clown, for sure. What's up, Fox Mulder? We got Urban Productions, ATX, how are you, my friend? How are you as well? John Neese, Mo Digging It, what's good, ATX and fam? Your volume is pretty low. Cool, good to know. No volume. Joking, I can hear you. We ain't worried about nothing, we celebrating. There we go, there's the chat popping up on screen as well. How I ain't got my boy Wes as a freaking mod, man? Come on, boy. Wes, you got the wrench, my boy. You good now? So, all is gravy, guys. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. Everyone's saying my audio is low. Cool, give me a sec. Let me turn it up then. Let me turn up the audio. Audio. All right, Mike. What day is it today, Mike? Hump day. Mike, hump day. Guys, I hope y'all are having a fantastic day, for real. I know I am having a lovely time watching all of the green candles happening across the board. You can up it even a little bit more. Cool. Well, let me crank up the volume, dance, kick it. All right, hold on. I'm trying to turn up the audio right now, just so anyone who's kind of tuning in later, for whatever reason, I'm going to get this audio cranked up. I don't know why it's a little bit low on my end right now, but looks like y'all are all good. So cool. Let me know if everyone is good to go as well. Yeah, exactly. Everyone's saying what's up to Westcott. What's good, everybody? Heximus, Plex, Pulse Eximus, Si, senor. Exactly. Yo, guys, we have a pump happening right now in the ecosystem for RH right now, right? We literally have seen the 2Xs, 3Xs, and everything come across the board on this one, as a matter of fact. So, what you can see is there's a couple of things happening. One, let's take a little look first at Richard Hart doing his thing. So he's actually coming through saying he's fighting the SEC for your rights. 11 of my lawyers, and again, guys, this is so awesome. 11 of my lawyers filed this today. Ironically, today the SEC Twitter account was hacked and a fraudulent message was posted. That fraudulent message basically stated that the ETF actually had been approved, which was wrong, and then the SEC came through and tried fixing that as well. We can look at that if you want to later. The blockchain literally solves this. He's been saying this, screaming it from the roof every single time. The blockchain literally solves exactly this problem the SEC is attacking, the very tech that it needs. Cryptographically verifiable authentication, proof, and publication. Blockchain are the first and only immutable public ledger communications technology, open source, peer-to-peer. Millions of people use blockchain to publish pictures, text, and even literature and more every single day. Technology is a future we pray to the courts to defend the Constitution and your rights. So if y'all haven't had a chance to see this, there's beautiful information that is actually all listed. Y'all are welcome to read through this. If you want, I'm happy to read through it with y'all as well. If you ain't got nothing better to do, I'm happy to go through this. But my goodness, I went through this entire thing right here, and it was incredible. And I can understand why people are bullish again, because everyone has been waiting to basically hear what is actually going on. And the idea behind this is Mr. Hart intends to move to dismiss the complaint for foregoing reasons. And again, there's a bunch of reasons actually listed by them. And what I did was I actually went and did a TLDR version of this as well. So for those of y'all who haven't seen this on my Twitter, you can follow me on ATXCrypto_. But the idea behind it is Quinn Emanuel is representing Richard J. Schuler, aka Richard Hart. They addressed the judge Carol Bagley Amon in a letter seeking to dismiss the SEC charges against Richard Hart. Again, we got the clown, Gary Gensler. We got Richard Hart fighting for all of us as well. And so you can see that the letter dated yesterday, January 9th, 2024, concerns SEC versus Schuler, focusing on alleged securities laws violations involving blockchain technology. The SEC's complaint, Hart created HEX, Pulse Chain, and PLSX, selling the crypto asset as securities and misusing funds. Hart's defense, these claims are baseless. Pretty simple. Hart's lawyers argued the SEC overreaches, improperly applying securities laws to blockchain. They highlight jurisdictional, constitutional, and regulatory flaws in the case. And the key dates to pay attention to, folks, are Hart's motion to dismiss due April 8th of 2024, SEC's response by July 8th of 2024, and Hart's reply by August 22nd, a pivotal case in blockchain regulation. And again, if y'all want to check out the full filing, you can actually, in fact, go check it out here where you can see it. Now, what's interesting about this, guys, and I just want to share some information here. Once again, just kind of talking for a second. I sold all my Pulse and PulseX. Well, I sure as hope that you didn't, my friend. Maybe too far from Mike. All good. Good morning, good morning. Hit the like. Yeah, exactly. I'll try to get a little bit closer to the mic and, get right up on it. That way y'all can hear. Do I need to have my mic like way over here on the side? And then that way it can just be like exactly angled. So that way I just need to talk like this. That would be a lot easier. It's probably really loud whenever I do it. I see it peaking. Anyways. Oh, I'm sure that's so loud. Because, again, I got it turned up, guys. So y'all let me know. Oh, jeez. Yo, y'all are too funny. Y'all are too funny, man. But be sure to hit the like. Be sure to hit the subscribe. Be sure to reach out to everyone, guys. Let everyone know Pulse Chain and PulseX are here, man. Let them know that we're here and that we are not joking around right now, guys. Like, look at the absolute beauty of the charts that we have going on in our ecosystem right now. So if I just pull up the actual chart on this information, we got PulseX over here doing an absolute tear. Again, just kind of let me hide some of these as well, just so you can see beautiful green candle. Look at the HEX chart, man. Absolutely pumping. We've basically broken out of every bearish trend that we're sitting in right now. The next levels that we need to be watching or paying attention to are going to be pre-SEC levels, right? Where were the prices prior to the SEC? And so I'm just kind of pulling all these up because, dude, these charts look incredible, right? And so let me just kind of see what else we got going on down here. Hedra and Icosa doing their thing too. I've been seeing some pumps from them, but pulling up the PulseX chart, man. Let's just actually pull this up real fast, y'all. So pulling up the PulseX chart, we have actually broken out of this bearish trend that we've been sitting in since November 12th. Now, again, if you actually want to really get technical, we can draw this line and go all the way back up here, all the way to July, right? Or even June. That was really the last time. July was kind of that precipice. July 31st was the SEC news, so I think everyone had heard about what was going on there. I drew this just to see where we were on the current trend, and folks, on the current trend, we've broken out of this once again. We had levels to be paying attention to see where I thought price could end up going. I'm going to get rid of these at the moment right now, just so that way it just kind of cleans up and looks a little bit better. The 9 EMA, 15 EMA, and 50 EMA have all crossed on a bullish move as of the 9th of January, which was conveniently yesterday. Since then, we've had a pump of 9% on Pulse X in one day, 18% in one day, 23% in one day, and currently today we're sitting at 23 again. How high can we go and how high do we finish? We have broken above the 200 EMA, folks. This has obviously not happened. The 200 EMA was possible since December 1st. We are now above the 200 EMA as well. So the 50, the 200, the 9, the 15, all bullish signs, folks. We can see we were forming this little wedge right here for a little bit. We've actually been in this wedge, if you go all the way back since the bottom of the market, which was the lowest of low, September 15th, it looks like is when the lowest of low has been. We've been forming a bearish signal or a bullish signal on that the entire time, and now we have launched, folks. So again, if you were able to purchase your Pulse X all the way back on September 15th, just as an example, so far you're already up 3x on your Pulse X. I know we've been seeing things pump lately, guys. I know I've been seeing things like Bitcoin pump, Ethereum pump, and if you pull up some of these as well, guys, we can see it all, right? You can see the price of Bitcoin doing its thing once it actually went through and did what it did. Ethereum was doing its thing as well and has a nice little move happening. Once again, these are weekly charts on weekly candles, but the weekly candle alone on the Bitcoin has pretty starting to kind of like stall out just a little bit, especially with the lack of truth and sincerity from the SEC post on the BS there. But neither here nor there, folks. We have gotten a 3x since September 15th, okay? So that's just on Pulse X once again. So don't think that all the other coins are pumping and yours is not. Yours is in fact pumping, and it has been as well. We are getting on the little bit higher side on the stochastic RSI to be a little bit more overbought at this point in time because we have had a massive rally over the last few days, but that's neither here nor there, and I will take that all day. If we pull up the actual pulse chart, it's looking pretty similar as well. The pulse chart's actually right here. This is a 3-day candle or weekly candle, my bad. So in the last week, we've gone up 60% alone. And folks, once again, if you go all the way back to the August time frame, we're doing pretty darn good when it actually comes to how the market has been performing since then. We've got a nice little 2.5x pump as well. What's interesting about the Pulse X pump, folks, is Pulse X is actually now outperforming Pulse, and it's actually reached a point in time, and this is actually brought to my attention by Patreon people, so appreciate that for the Patreon members who support the channel, who support the content, and of course want to just have some fun with conversation about like-minded individuals, where we have our own private Telegram and a weekly call. Neither here nor there. They pointed out this. They pointed out that we have actually started to flip into a nice little bullish item over here. I'm going to flip the pair just so it's a little bit easier to see. So once again, folks, if you actually look at just Pulse versus Pulse X and how it's actually performing, the idea behind this is it's showing that up here for one pulse, you would get roughly 3.9 Pulse X. And as this is actually showing, what it's showing right now is Pulse X is actually outperforming Pulse, thereby making it a better, faster mover in what you're actually doing. Now, I do caution trading between these two pairs. If it's something that you plan on doing, just, you know, no one's going to be able to stop you. Do you, boo? But this is actually pretty interesting, and I'm curious to know if in the bull run, if we ever end up coming back down to a 1-to-2 ratio. We did get to see a 1-to-2 ratio when they first launched. I would be curious to see if during at some point in time in this bull run of 2024, 2025, if we don't just see Pulse X all of a sudden just come down into this 1-to-2 ratio. That could be a phenomenal opportunity for some to be able to swap their Pulse X for Pulse at that point in time. And then if it ever reached this range back up here again, you'd be able to swap your Pulse for Pulse X back up here and just have a bigger bag. That's a trading mentality, and that's very dangerous, and most likely you will get wrecked before you win, especially if you don't have a long-term mindset on this one. So that's not something I would advise, but it is very interesting information. Looking at the HEX charts together, HEX versus HEX on Pulse Chain, we haven't really gotten too much of a difference on this one, you know, comparing the two together. I know it's been pretty stagnant on this like 1-to-2 ratio for a little bit, and I'll just kind of flip it once again just to make it simple. But guys, this is what I was talking about whenever I say like swapping the hexes for each other. Up here, you would swap your hex for Ethereum hex, and then, you know, wait until the ratio comes back into play, and then you actually have this ratio show up, and then you swap your EHEX for Pulse Chain Hex, and now we're just kind of playing in this range. And so swapping sometimes can just do absolutely nothing, where you actually sit sideways for 90 days, maybe longer, maybe shorter. But it's not a play that I would personally plan on doing, but it is something cool just to see what's happening on the overall market as well. Let me see what's going on up here. Sound better? Yeah, okay, cool. Let me actually pull up the chat once again just so I can see it a little bit easier. Joking, I can hear you. Cool, cool, cool. Good morning, good morning. Hit the likes. Appreciate that. I sold all my PLSX. Well, that sucks. ATX, didn't see you in the HEX conference. I was not a part of the HEX conference. Finally, some green candles. Do you really think that measly 3.7 mil from Sack Wallet made all the difference? Thoughts? So the Sack Wallet has been buying apparently for some time, right? Like if you actually want to get into it, the Sack Wallet has apparently been buying for some period of time. So what's funny about that is they've been buying since middle of December, and it just happened to get noticed right now, right? And so because of that, what's up, Cookie de Chocolata? So because of that, it's actually kind of interesting on how it all ends up playing out as well, because do I really think that just the 3.7 mil from Sack Wallet made the difference? No. But the combination of knowing that Richard Hart is fighting the SEC, then you have the motion to dismiss, which is something that we've been wondering what he's going to do. Does he settle? Does he plead? Does he just reach an agreement? Does he get a slap on the wrist and pay a fine? Will he fight? Will he not? Will this go on for years? All those things were FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It was a list of reasons as to why you may or may not want to invest in the asset. And so, being that, we've actually fixed that now. It's actually pretty darn interesting. Oh, Lord. Look how close to PLSX to Sack already. Dude, I know. So, I was actually looking at the Pulse price, and we actually aren't too far off right now. Just Pulse from reaching Sack price. So, I've said this before, but I feel like I start getting pretty darn bullish when we actually hit previous Sack prices. And what's up, sir? What's up? What's up, Dosteezy? How you doing, my friend? So when you pull up this information right here, for example, like, right, this is the Pulse price right now. Folks, everything pre-SEC is when I say we flip super bullish in this regard. And these candle pumps are no joke, man. This is a 60% pump in a candle. And again, the candle is really just started over here right now, right? Looking back at what HEX has done so many times in the past, and I've shown this as well. But if you look at the HEX chart itself, anytime that we're one color in December, we go the opposite the next month, right? And so what I mean by that is, say for example, we're on the monthly candle right here, and I flipped this up to log. Well, when you have a red candle in December or a red month in December, we get a green January, and it could lead to a few months of green candles. When you get a green candle in December, we would get a red candle in January, right? And so we just kept on going through. We saw a little bit of pain. We did the same thing up here as well. As a matter of fact, we saw a green candle in December. We saw a red candle in January, and then we already know the price fell from there, right? We got a red candle in December here, and we got a green candle in January here, and we got an actual pretty good pump. In fact, this is kind of what we're seeing in a similar situation with PulseX right now, or with HEX on Pulse Chain. It's around these prices, this 1.7 cent range, and we'll take a look. But from this chart alone, in the next 60 days, this thing went off and did a 7x. So it went from 1.7 cents all the way up to 13 cents essentially. Now, we know that was due to a few different things, mid-May launch, blah, 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 whatever you want to say. The purpose of this is when you have a red candle in December, we get a green candle in January, or when you get a green candle in December, we would get a red candle in January. Well, guess what we got in December, folks? Well, you already know it. We got us a red candle in December, and right now we are seeing a nice bullish green candle happening in January that could go on up until the April-May timeframe. And even if you just go from where we are currently at this point in time to a 6x above where we currently are right now, well, then we're looking at just prices being in the ballpark of somewhere around 2.5 cents to 3 cent hex again on the Ethereum side. Once again, if you just go back based on when we actually flipped bearish on the SEC date or the announcement of the SEC date, it was right here, July 31st, August 1st. And then we actually tried fighting out of that. We didn't quite. And folks, this could be the thing where we end up fighting out. So that's what we're actually seeing over on the price of Hex on Pulse Chain. I'm sorry, Hex on Ethereum. That's kind of the full chart of what we've actually been looking at, of what we're seeing. And look at the freaking candle on this, guys. Absolute bullish. When we pass this level right here of the SAC level, which is basically what a lot of people are wondering. This is, by the way, the closest we've been to SAC price since July 31st. Do you realize that? Like nothing. So right now, if you actually look at this whole chart right here and the overall ecosystem of the candle and everything that we're actually seeing, well, what you can see is beautiful, beautiful structure in the whole setup right now of what we're seeing. We have higher lows being formed once again. So we have a low, a higher low, a higher low, a higher low, and you just keep on going with higher lows. Higher lows being formed. Very good there. We now have higher highs being formed, higher highs, and now higher highs once again. So when you start getting into this little nice higher highs, higher lows setup, it does tend to go a very bullish direction. Now again, this is on the weekly, so we haven't quite crossed yet at this point in time, but the 9 and 15 EMA on the weekly are in fact about to cross bullish, which every single time it's done this in the past, which Pulse Chain hasn't been around long enough for it to do it on a weekly time frame, but on daily you can see we've already flipped bullish on this one as well, right? So this is beautiful charts, stochastic RSI showing a little bit of overbought, but once again, we can stay up in this range for anywhere between, a couple weeks, I would say, somewhere in that range. So if we kind of anticipate maybe a similar situation, maybe we go a couple weeks in by mid-July or mid-January, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're looking pretty darn bullish, guys. In the last 4 days alone, we've almost gone up a 2x, which is damn good. Damn good, y'all. Woo! Look at all the freaking green candles. Hex 44, Hex 44, Ink 51. You see the GoPulse.com website. And you look at the 30-day time period. Pulse is up 70% in 30 days. Pulse X is up almost a 2x, which is 100% in 30 days. You have Hex on Pulse Chain almost up 2x in 30 days. Incentive has actually, in fact, reached a 2x in 30 days. So this just shows that as these prices are pumping, everything else, a rising tide lifts all boats type deal, that's what's going on. No matter what's the overall game plan here, that's what we're seeing, right? So definitely interesting to see once again, guys. Definitely interesting to see once again. What's up? Yeah, I see a very nice W forming as well. Cookie de chocolate, I see it too. And yeah, so checking out, so I'll give a shout out to Money Gang Crypto. He came through and created this list of the Dream Team lawyer thread that all of Richard Hart's lawyers were on the letter. And so what's crazy is as I was going through, one of these people in particular absolutely stood out, right? And so as you're going through here, y'all are welcome to go check out this thread as well. You can see it. The one that really stood out was David Kirk. That dude, and again, you can just see all these different names amongst the board and everything. Jeffrey Rottenberger, Patrick Smith, partners at everyone, Brian Burns, David Kirk. I think this is the one if I recall correctly. Let me just double check. No, okay, it wasn't David Kirk. My bad. Who was it? One of these dudes is freaking magna cum laude from Harvard Law. And I was like, holy effing cow, my guys. Magna cum laude at Harvard Law is absurd, right? Ridiculous. And I don't think it was a female on that one because I feel like that would have been easier for me to remember. Who the fuck was it? Well, damn it, y'all. Now I want to figure it out because now I'm done. Oh, of course not. Come on, man. Come on, man. Well, y'all can go through this list and see it. But by the way, this list of lawyers is stacked. And I do mean stacked, guys. Like, people who have represented Elon Musk on his claims with SEC, people who have dealt with the Department of Justice, people who have been deputy director on the SEC's as deputy director. Like, these lawyers are absolutely freaking stacked, y'all. And that, to me, is just so freaking bullish, guys. So freaking bullish. And I really wish I could find the person who was the Magnum Cum Laude Harvard Law person. But for whatever reason, I can't. So maybe I'm just going to pull this up over here on this side and see if we can figure that out. So, let me see here. Captain David Kirk, yeah, right? Hey, ATX, trust all is fantastic. Spank the like. Appreciate that, Dr. H. Yo, ATX up, people. ATX, good to see you on screen, sir. That beard looks like you came out of hibernation. Yo, too funny. Too funny. Yeah, A-fam. Oh, my Lord. Look how close. Yeah, dude. Everything is so beautiful right now, y'all. LOL, suits lawyers are all sus. Dude, I gotta find out. Let me freaking... there's gotta be a way for me to figure out who the hell was that individual that I did... that ended up being the Magnum Cum Laude Harvard Law. Because I seen that and I was like, dude, if you got someone who's that level of degree... And I could have sworn they had their own law firm opened. And I could have sworn it was Kirk. Because it was... Anyways... Clearly, I don't quite remember all of it on this one, so let me just see if I can pull it all up myself. But what are y'all's thoughts on what's going on right now, right? Is this a time to FOMO? I saw this question on Twitter as well, and I have to laugh at these kind of questions, guys. Like, I really, really do. Is it too late to get into HEX, Pulse, PulseX? Asking for a friend. What kind of silly shit kind of question is this? And again, I know it's a silly question that they asked, maybe to get some... engagement. Clearly they got my attention on that silly question, but is it too late? Yeah, dude. No, it's not too late. Are you freaking kidding? Like, everything is still below SAC prices. You got PulseX, Pulse still below SAC price. Even to get back up on this one for Pulse Chain or PulseX to get back up to a SAC price, you're looking at a damn near 4x alone on that one. So, like, do you like making 4x's? I know a lot of people do, but that just gets us back up to SAC. Like, that's not even that far-fetched of what could actually end up happening, y'all. Like, you understand, like, this is a price right here. Once again, higher highs of anything that we've seen in recent times, months, and since really the Pulse Chain launch of pumping happening. But looking at this right here, dude, like, just getting back up to SAC all the way up here. You see that? What a beautiful opportunity to see a possible 4x your money. Just right here. And again, I drew it a little bit lower. You know, I started apparently a little bit lower. But how crazy is that, guys? What are we talking about? Is it too late? No, it's not too late. That's such a silly question. And folks, I say it's silly because people are truly like, oh, it's too late. The pump's already happening. No, bro. The pump just started. This is the pump happening. This is the pump starting. Don't get me wrong. I don't necessarily always like saying, like, go all in on green candles. Don't FOMO, you silly guys. But have a plan in place. You have a DCA strategy to insert yourself into this market over the span of the next couple of months. I've always said you should be DCAing for 12 to 18 months in general, right? Like, let's just talk about that. But that's a beautiful chart of what I'm seeing. We're above the 200. We're above the 50. We're above the 9. We're above the 15. Bullish is all can be. And we're making higher highs, higher lows once again. Is it too late? No. The pump has literally just started. And if you think this thing is going to do anywhere between a 50x to a 500x to a 1000x, dude, okay, here's the deal. I'll say it like this. If you had the opportunity and you're sitting on this bag of cash and you're sitting on all this money and it's almost kind of Yeah, the chart looks like a laser show. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny, AFAM. Lines going everywhere. Yeah, exactly. And they're all going different directions. But, yo, we are all making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Bullish as all can be. And to me, thoughts on pullback. Hugh Hefner, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a pullback. Like, have we exhausted all the sellers in the market? I don't know if we've exhausted all the sellers in the market. I was saying that people were selling on 20% increases in prices, and now we've almost done a double in 4 days. Yeah, there's going to be some people that think we're going to be no longer pumping, and they're going to do big sells. And I think it's a collective group of individuals who try to suppress the price. Now that the SAC wallet OA address has stepped in, or at least been purchasing funds, or at least been doing something, it's going to be hard when you get someone who has that kind of funds that you can just keep buying. Like, what if, I think someone said it best, like, what if instead of a rug pull, what if you just had someone who just infinitely bought without regard of what was going on, and you got a magic carpet ride, right? Like, we've seen that, and you're going to see the prices going again. That's incredible. And it just really takes a few whales to come in and just decimate the price, and this thing could just blast off, guys. So have a plan in place. I'm DCAing for the first 12 to 18 months, right? I think everyone should DCA for at least the period of the first 12 months of Pulse Chain being out, even if price is higher at some point in time. Because if you DCA now and you're DCAing for the long haul, 4 years, 5 years, 7 years down the road, you're going to be so thankful and happy that you DCA'd and took the opportunity to do it right now. Okay? Like, and I get that for some people saying, is it too late to buy HEX? Is it too late to buy Pulse? Is it too late to buy PulseX? Like, yeah, you might not get 1000X, but you could still get a 250X, my friend. And that is pretty damn incredible by any means of the imagination. I've never seen a 250X, right? I want to witness that myself. I can't wait to see it. I've seen 100Xs before, but I've never seen a fucking 200, 250, 500, 1000. I've never seen those. Right? So I would love to see those. I want to see them just as much as y'all as well. But if you have the opportunity to take something like 200 and then you still get 50X out of it because you bought now, are you kidding? Congrats, man. Where else are you going to go 50X your money? Like, stop being silly, people. Right? And that's kind of what I see happening with this. All right, so one thing just for shits and gigs, right? S's and G's. What's up? So something that I think some people want to pay attention to is be mindful of who it was that came through and was really a part of this. Let me see if I can switch up my background maybe, because let me just see. But you want to be mindful of who was doing stuff during what points in time and everything happening, right? Like at a certain point in time, that's kind of the way I look at it for sure. And yeah, I'll switch this up for now. Cool, that looks a little bit easier to see. So that, to me, is essentially saying that there's been people who have been hating on the ecosystem, who have been fudding the ecosystem, who have been talking shit about the ecosystem. Now the prices are pumping. They're all of a sudden, it's us. It's we're going up together. We, us, you know, all these camaraderie. And like, I want y'all to remember those people who were talking shit. And if you want to, I don't partake in calling out the BS because I don't really do the whole drama. If that's you, do it. But just be mindful of who it is. And I've muted a lot of individuals on X because I don't care to see their posts, right? And I don't want to be there whenever they're talking about this whole celebration of us and everything like that. Like, you have made your decision and basically talk shit for the entire time. And now that it's pumping, you want to come back and be in good graces and good favors. So I would pay attention when things like that are happening personally. So yeah, let me know, I guess, what y'all's thoughts are on that. Maybe I'm tripping on this right here, right? Like, maybe it's me who's definitely a little bit wrong on this one, but I've always been of the opinion that, like, I'm going to make the investment decision based on my own decision, right? And I accept responsibility and fate and the outcome of what actually ends up happening. Well, y'all can do the same, right? Let me switch this up, make it a little bit smaller. There we go. All right, cool. I just made the little font a little bit smaller. There you go. Anyways, yeah, what do y'all think about this whole, like, y'all like the chat showing up on here? Let me see what we got going on over here for this screen. See if we can pull up. All right, cool. Yeah, so that's one way of doing it here. I'm just kind of checking some stuff out, playing around with the whole setup right now. But whenever I look at these prices on the entire ecosystem that we're in right now, these are absolutely bullish, and it just seems like the pump doesn't want to stop. People have been sitting on the sideline for months with plenty of cash ready to deploy, and it seems like people are now ready to start deploying them cashes, you know? Whenever I see stuff like this on the HEX chart, for example, let me just make it to where the chat ends up being a little bit smaller here. Let me throw that here. All right, cool. Cool. So this is just one of those charts that I actually see breaking all this stuff down, right? Card height. Okay, cool. Columns. Can I switch it up to just 2? Sure can. What else do I want? Make it simple. Spacing. Okay. All right, cool. I'm just trying to set up some interesting stuff over here while I can pull it up. So we got pulse price pumping. Current price 40.8547. Once again, we have broken all the previous resistances at this point in time. The big one for resistance was right at 40.7815, where we had many times of trying to go up there and basically met with resistance each time. So we have broken above that. Super bullish. We are almost at pre-SEC days, which is SAC price, by the way, y'all. So just Pulse Chain reaching SAC price is only, what, 15% away at this point in time? It's not even that far, and we've already seen in the last few days alone multiple pumps. So getting back up to the SAC price right here is 17.6% away. So basically either it could be printed today or even tomorrow if this pump wants to continue going. This candle alone had 19% in this candle. This one is sitting at 16. This one is at 14. And the pump is looking awfully pretty, in my opinion, and hopefully yours as well. Whenever we break down the multi-chart back on this one for PLSX, okay, cool. Gotcha. The buttons are a little bit off right now just because I probably squished it all down. Looking at PLSX, once again, we had a resistance level that we needed to basically get past, which was sitting at 40.245. We've broken past that resistance level at this point in time, and so off to bigger and better things once again in terms of the SEC announcement. We're just a few percentages away, because this is what I've always said. We get bullish when we actually pass all this nonsense. And folks, we are only 20% away from being pre-SEC bullshit days, right? Because if you don't remember, we were actually on a good pump, right? We were actually on a bullish trajectory. Then we had the SEC come through and just say, fuck it, and just went kaboosh, where we actually, that was the main kicker, where we actually saw the 60, 65, 70% drop, where people just absolutely abandoned and sold and freaked out because they heard news. Oh, it's bigger than that. It was bigger than that drop. So that was a day where we saw 70% drop in 2 days. We haven't seen this price since July 31st, my friends, almost a full 6 months ago. And we're almost there, just 20% away. That's not far off right now. And then from there, I guess the next level, if you're looking at this trend line being something like a support resistance, we could even almost pull this up as like a parallel channel and like the big parallel channel wedge, right? Where you just bounce in here and bounce in here and bounce in here. And this is kind of where we have a whole range, and it just kind of plays up. But at the end of the day, look where it gets us, y'all, right? Like, look where it possibly gets us. And we're talking way out here. Way out here. Right? This is where we actually end up going. Like, where everything ends up kind of meeting. Where we end up at 2017. And, yeah, this is showing 2026 and past, right? But, guys, that's incredible. Like, I'm going to be here. Are you? right? Have you actually done what you needed to do during this time to make sure to take advantage when that time arrives? Good question. That needs to be up to you to figure that out. Did you do enough, right? Like, did you do enough to make it happen? That's it. What else we got? Let me just read through some of the chat real fast as well. Welding my life away to DCA listening to ATX. Let's go. Dalton Honeycutt, thank you so much. Do you really think that a measly 3.7? Yep, sure does. What's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing, Pulse Nation? Doing good, my friend. What's up, people? Yeah, good to see everyone on the screen as well. Academaciated, hello. Checks my pulse. What up, y'all? LFG Pulse Nation. RH is an effing legend. Always has been, always will be for sure. CBOE has confirmed Bitcoin ETF and will start trading tomorrow. Fox, are you BSing me? Because that's actually the second time that I've heard someone say a Bitcoin ETF has been approved in some way, shape, or form. And I don't know if it's part of like a whole, thing that we're trying to figure out, basically. Okay, hold up. Here we go. This is coming from CoinGape.com. Let me just actually pull it up on the full screen. Breaking: CBOE approves multiple spot Bitcoin ETFs for trading. Multiple spot Bitcoin ETF applications has gotten the green light to trade on the CBOE exchange, BZX exchange, per a recent announcement. The Chicago Board Options Exchange, or CBOE, has approved 4 potential spot Bitcoin ETFs for trading on its platform, pending the green light from the U.S. SEC. So basically, they're saying it's ready to go whenever the SEC says cool. Spot Bitcoin ETF, almost a done deal. To push the launch, spot Bitcoin ETFs is almost its tail end, as CBOE has unexpectedly filed a notification to inform the public that its affiliated platform, BZX Exchange, has greenlighted the proposed fund offering from ARK, 21 shares with the ticker symbol ARKB. Invesco Galaxy Bitcoin ETF is BTCO. The Van Eck Bitcoin Trust is the HODL, and Fidelity Wise Origin. Okay, there's this. That's just unnecessarily long. FBTC. That just doesn't even sound funny. That's just FBTC. According to CBOE, filing for these products, the trading platform is pushing for expedited registration of these products in a bid to facilitate their readiness for trading. And cool. Like, is there? I thought I had more here. 1 second. What? All right, cool. That's just trying to get me to highlight like the word. If I type in ETF, I just want to see something real fast. Give me a sec, y'all. Okay. All right. Well, weird. I'll figure that out. But this move to approve the spot ETF products from 4 applicants underscores the positivity of the discussion between the market regulators and trading platforms. NYSE may also publish related approval updates for the ETFs as they plan to list as well. Is official approval in? The move is not expected until after the SEC has given its official approval to the respective spot Bitcoin ETF products. Hey, how is the discount to NAV premium right now? Like, what's going on with that? Does anyone know? I'll check it out. Might as well see it. See it ourselves. What the hell? BTC. GBTC. Come on. There it is. I was like, where is it? Cool. What are we looking at? All right, so it's still 6.35% under, which is actually surprised that it's still a discount, even with the most recent announcement or news of what was going on. So let me just go back 10 years. Yeah. Looking back on this one, pretty good. So 2021 was the end of the bear market, bull market, and then we went into the bear market. We were actually a premium on Bitcoin on GBTC for quite a while. The bull market came, rallied, finished, and then we actually went into a discount, whereas we actually saw a discount is as big as almost 50% from the actual Bitcoin ETF price versus grayscale Bitcoin. And now there's only a 6% difference. Guys, this is a massive move, by the way, that's a massive move for like a grayscale Bitcoin ETF like this one. That's pretty freaking solid, y'all. Not gonna lie. Going from a 48% deficit down to only a 6% deficit or discount, again, pretty solid. Looking at what we got going on the overall market. How's Icosa? I haven't really pulled that one up. There's Icosa. There's Hedron doing its thing. Be sure to mint your Hedron before ending your stakes. You can do it at app.icosa.pro if you want. Cool. Switching back over here. What else we got? I appreciate you letting me know that information. I didn't know that that there was any chance of an approval on that one. I did see that there was a dummy or someone who, I don't know, did it on purpose. But basically someone sent $1.2 million in Bitcoin to Satoshi's wallet. This actually happens all the time. A lot of people thank Satoshi as the founder and the wallet as a thank you. So sometimes they'll send like $1, $5, $100 every now and again to like this wallet. Someone sent $1.2 million in Bitcoin, which is just wild. And it came from a long dormant wallet, which kind of weird. An unidentified crypto wallet with no previous transaction history sent, and let me zoom on in on this. There you go. So you can see it a little bit easier. Sent 26.92 Bitcoin worth some 1.26 million at the writing. So if I recall correctly, this was done as of the 8th of January. And it's always fun to sometimes just look back at like what these prices actually ended up getting to. Because even just today on this particular one, so on the 8th of January, oh, this is on weekly. Cool. That's going to make it a little easier. 8th of January was right here at the writing. And so far, we've also gone up probably about a good 7% since then as well. So 46,395. I do the math on some of this stuff sometimes just for S's and G's. But 46,395 times the ETF amount or the send amount, which was like 26.92. Let me just see. 26.92. Yeah, 1.2. Oh, it's down a little bit. So 1.25 million. Anyways, they sent it to the Genesis Bitcoin wallet address. Pretty interesting. Sometimes, yeah, they say an honorific tribute to the cryptocurrency's mysterious founder. They received 15 separate payments, which is, again, pretty common. People just send like a couple dollars here and there, especially being that the 15-year anniversary just released or just came around, as a matter of fact. So you have Bitcoin that's been out since 2009. You have HEX has been out since 2019. HEX is now 4 years old on this one. Any other crazy information happening on some crypto interesting information? X removes NFT PFP feature for paid subscribers. Well, there you go. Not really sure if people were using that often, but Coinbase executives offer SEC help with security after Twitter account hack. BlackRock, and that's so funny because the SEC is going after Coinbase as well. So comical that they would do something like that, right? What else we got? BlackRock, ARK Invest, 21 shares, cut proposed Bitcoin ETF fees. Twitter SEC account didn't have two-factor authentication at time of fake Bitcoin ETF news. I really want them to dive in deeper on this because I don't think it was just like a fake hack on this one. I think I'm a conspiracy theorist, so it's almost like I'll say people basically tried to play the system, see what would happen, right? Like, let's release some information just to wash out a couple of people before the news comes out. I don't think the ETF is going to get an approval, but hey, neither here nor there. It will eventually get an approval. There's no doubt in my mind. I just don't think it happens this time. The SEC wants to put up too much of a fight, but now the courts are actually telling the SEC, get your shit together and come up with an actual solution as to what is needed for these individuals to make, to make the ETFs possible. ARK Invest offloads another $20.6 million worth of Coinbase shares. Interesting. All right, cool. These are all coming from many months ago. So Cool. What else we got, y'all? What else y'all working with? What else are y'all working with? Yeah, congrats to all those who stayed strong through all this as well. I know it hasn't necessarily been the smoothest, easiest ride, and it didn't go the way a lot of people were thinking on that one. But yeah, let's just kind of read through some chats, and then we'll kind of wrap up here as well. What are we talking about? Where are we at? No, I found the bottom for sure. Okay, cool. Let me go back up here. Here we go. I FOMO'd at the bottom. Congrats. This chart looks like a laser show. Sure, certainly does. What up, y'all? How you doing? We got Rugburn. How you doing, Rugburn? Much love. Rugburn. Douche. There you go. Guys, if y'all are Patreon supporters and members and you want to have a wrench, feel free to let me know as well. I'll give you a wrench. And then I may even just do it to where I might take away some wrenches. What do y'all think? No, I don't know. People would freak out if we take away, right? You just have to give. That's what this whole thing is. It's only give. No take, only give. Yeah. At Westcott Crypto, great stream yesterday with Maddie. You saw me trolling Hodprol. Too funny, checks my pulse. Richard's confident in the fight, makes me believe even more. Yeah, it makes everyone believe. The pump's happening, the green candle's happening, all of it, y'all. All of it. Is it spot or futures ETF? It'll be spot. That's what they're going for. Oh, you were asking Fox. Okay, cool. He said spot to answer that question. Did you see Rand Noonan saying the narrative has changed to ETH and RH ecosystem? Wow. No, I don't really watch too much on crypto banter, but if Rand is saying some good positive stuff, I will take it. Congrats to all who stayed the course, even more so if you DCA'd. It's been tough, but here we are. Facts, no name pleb. South Texas Crypto says, when RH coins 100x plus, will ATX get a huge Xmas tree? So my ceiling only goes up about 10 feet in the house right now, you know? So like if I had to give a guess on like how high I could do it, I mean, I could get a Christmas tree as high as 10 feet. I guess. Something like that. But anyways, I'll be sure to have some ginormous tree that's probably like 20 feet in, you know, diameter for its radius on the bottom, which would be crazy. And it would be like a 10-foot tree, so it'll just look funky as hell. But it'll be funny, and it'll be what I do. Thoughts on single-side staking Pulse X on 9-inch? Yeah, I wouldn't do it, personally. Checks my pulse. Done. A mechanic should always have a wrench. Has Rand said that? Wow, Cookie to Chocolate. Yeah, I haven't personally seen that as well. Yeah, the Christmas tree. There will be signs. How do you know the bull market's in? There will be signs, y'all. I promise. Yo, did y'all see? I don't even know if I could share it, but there's my audio. I don't know how to get it to tie in. I'll have to play it. Richard Hart is literally using the sacrifice funds to fight for your freedom of speech. That's too funny. And this is literally just getting started, guys. Like, for real. Breaking news. All 11 Bitcoin spot ETFs are currently being added to the Bloomberg terminal as pending. Trading will be ready to go shortly after approval. Wow. Shoot. If the approval happens, then cool. That's a typically sell the news event. It will be pretty hype for a period of time, where I could actually see the discount to NAV fix itself and almost become a premium to NAV pretty fast. But we'll see how that plays out. It's official. Richard Hart is fighting the SEC. Big news. Pulse is up 49%. Solana's down 5.5%. Stupid. Too funny. But stupid. I know a Jewish man that claims to be close friends with Nick. Anyways, I don't even know what that whole thing's about. Yeah, I can't even pull up the actual video because I'm not going to be able to share the audio. And part of it's actually, the fun part is there will be signs, right? And so, like, it's basically him saying, like, Alexa, pull out the, or give me the gun safe or whatever, you know, he says on this one. And so So I'll pull it up on this one. I just know that y'all won't be able to hear the sound, unfortunately, just because for whatever reason my sound doesn't want to tie together with OBS right now. So interesting stuff, but all good as well. Where did it go? There it goes. And where did you go? OBS, where you at? Here we go. So boom, it was this one, and yeah, so there will be signs. So it's basically, it was this right here, and again, I know y'all aren't gonna be able to hear, so forgive the sound. I already know it. And then just goes brrr, and it opens up this little gun drawer, and you're like, oh shit, that's pretty dope. Look at one of them got a fucking silencer on it. Like, that's dope. And that's what I'm saying. You'll see signs whenever Pulse Chain does its 10,000X, guys. My friends, my family, my fellow people who absolutely are stoked to see what we got going on the ecosystem right now. We will win. And you will know that there is a day that this will happen as well. So guys, with that said, so much love to every single one of y'all. Can't wait to see what actually happens over the next few months, days, weeks, or whatever ends up happening. But guys, so much love, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Bye. I don't know what's happening, but bye. I'm just going to saying bye. Guys,